In the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has seen a massive rejection of 14% from the all-time high level of $69,000. So in today's video, we're going to go over the short time frame price action as well as the current trends, support levels and where we might go on the short time frame, as well as the macro charts to talk about what this move means and when we will start to expect a macro correction to the downside. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess, and as the channel name suggests, it's all about crypto, trading, and technical analysis. So if you're all about that or you'd love to learn, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So in my last video, I spoke about a move above this level here of resistance at $63,000, and that is exactly what we saw. So we had an RSI downtrend. The moment we broke that downtrend, we were able to flip momentum to the positive, and we had a break of that level here at $63,000. Now, I also said in my Telegram as well as on YouTube that as soon as we closed above this deviation high level here, we would move to $69,000, and that is what we saw. So as soon as we broke above that deviation high level at $64,000, shot right up to test that $69,000 level. The moment we did that, however, we were starting to break below our RSI uptrend here. So if you guys take a look, the moment we tested $69,000, we started to go downwards and break below that short time frame uptrend on the RSI. So when we did that, we crashed from $69,000, naturally a level of resistance, and we went down to test the space of support at $65,000. So there's that macro range there from $65,000 to $69,000. Then, after we broke down from that level and formed our short time frame RSI downtrend, we went for another test of $69,000. On the 30-minute chart, you guys can see we had a temporary uptrend here. We started to get bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart. So straight away, that's an indication that we're going to continue downwards. And this test of $69,000 was essentially a bit of a fake out. And we had a massive correction back downwards, which is generally what you see when you have bearish divergences with Bitcoin. So the crash was absolutely brutal, guys. It was a 14% move downwards, nearly 15% move downwards. There was nearly $1 billion in liquidations overall in the last 24 hours. Safe to say a lot of people unfortunately got caught on the wrong side of that move. Thankfully, we were able to catch some of that correction in VIP, so we were able to scrape some profits from the downwards move. If you guys haven't checked out VIP, you should definitely do that. But anyways, let's really quickly go over to the short time frame price action and what to expect moving forward. So taking a look at the 1 hour chart, we can see that the RSI downtrend is still active. So we're still in the downtrend. And so while we're in that RSI downtrend, it's a little bit premature to assume that we're just going to continue upwards. We still have a couple levels of resistance as well before we can kind of safely say that we're going to get that retest of $69,000. While we're in the downtrend, we might just continue to validate it. And until we completely invalidate it and move back upwards, it's a little bit risky. I wouldn't be taking any Bitcoin longs right now. So talking about levels of support, first of all, we did manage to bounce on this high time frame level here at $60,000. So if you go into a weekly chart really quick, we can see that we're currently traveling within this range here. So $60,000 is the top of our bottom range and $69,000 is the top of our resistance range. So it's good to see that we had that flush to $69,000 because now we can confirm that we found that support on $60,000 even on the higher time frame. So after that deviation and an immediate move above, we know that $69,000 for now is holding as a strong level of support, right? So that is really good to see. On the shorter time frames, we have support here at $61,000. So if you guys remember last week, I think we were traveling in this really strong range, so it's $61,000 to $63,000. So now that those have both been broken above, we have them as strong levels of support. So $61,000 is actually where we had our candle close and a continuation of that bounce upwards. And $63,000 was previously a level of resistance. So if we continue to consolidate and tap 65, if we do get a rejection from there, we do have 63 first as a base of support before that $61,000 level. Obviously, resistance-wise, we have that $65,000 level here. So we won't see a test of 69K until we break back within this range here. So we need to see a flip above $65,000 first. And of course, that would also mean that we need to flip above our 50 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. So that would also confirm a trend reversal. Whenever we flip above this red line here, that is generally a sign of some trend strength in the opposite direction. So after flipping below, we need to flip back above and also coincidentally above that 65K range. So those are the key things to be looking out for. First of all, this trend line here, that's definitely something to look out for. And then that $60,000 level. So that's really, really important that we hold that. Even if we do get a flip of this momentum, if we're below $60,000, we need to be looking for a break of that first. So for now though, that's obviously just speculation because we are above 60K. All right, so there's the short time frame price action. Let's go over to the weekly chart to have a look at where we're looking in terms of the strength of the macro charts. So moving on to these higher time frame charts, we can see that that move here was an exact test of our recent all-time high. And we can also see that historically, as we move into this range here from $60,000 to $69,000, it is really important that we find support on the $60,000 level. So if we have a look previously, over here, we didn't find support on that level. We reject from both $65,000 and $60,000, and we actually continue downwards. But over here, when we finally reached that $69,000 level, we actually found support first on 60K. So this range here, and that range starts at the bottom of $57,000. So $57,000 to $60,000. So naturally on our high time frame charts, that is our very first level of support, this range here. So it's actually really good to see that we had this test, because now we know that we're not traveling, we're not gonna, do that and fall below. We know that we've managed to find support on this level, and while we're above it, we should continue to gain strength and retest that $69,000 level. So as per usual, as long as we continue testing our level of resistance, at some point we will break above the sell wall. So the more and more we chip away at that sell wall, the higher the likelihood we have of completely absorbing it and moving upwards and beyond that $69,000 level, which means that holding 60,000, this base of support here, is extremely important, and that is exactly what we're doing. So on the weekly chart, things are still looking actually really good. We just had, unfortunately, a pretty volatile couple of hours. Moving past that $60,000 range, so that range starts at 57. Moving past that range, our next level of support on the weekly chart is $48,000. So that is from $46,000 to $48,000. That is that range there. Obviously, we have other levels of support, so I'm not saying that is the very first move that we're going to go to. We have a couple levels here at $52,000 to $55,000. But just looking straight away at this weekly chart, what we can see is 48 is the most significant level here. So while we hold 48K, we also hold our macro uptrend. So until we break either of those things, either that either that really strong level of support or the macro uptrend, things are still looking good. So the reason why I say that is because in the unlikely event that we lose this $60,000 range and we lose $57,000 and we continue downwards, technically on the macro chart, things are still looking fine. It just means we've had a massive correction. So that is the weekly chart analysis. A couple levels to look out for there, and a bit more conclusive information on why the $60,000 level was so important. Let's quickly go on to the monthly chart, because that is where we can see that Bitcoin is in a very critical position right now. So taking a look at the monthly chart, obviously off the bat, it looks pretty exciting. We are almost in price discovery right now. But on the monthly chart, we can actually also see that we are trying or just starting to get our monthly candle close above this really important level here. So our candle close at the all-time high was around 61,300. So this level here drawn by the black line. Now, if we get a monthly candle close above that level, that's obviously, it's really easy to forecast that behavior, right? So if we get the monthly candle close, we have a very high chance of getting $69,000 because we're forming higher highs, right? And then that extended bullish behavior. If we take a look at BLX, for example, and have a look at prior 4-year cycles, we can see every time we've had a monthly candle close above that all-time high monthly candle close, we essentially just have parabolic behavior. It just goes straight up and it's all green from there, right? Taking a look over here, for example, we have our all-time high monthly candle close level, and the moment we close above it, we just continue right on upwards. So right now we're in that really critical position where we're trying to figure out whether or not we are going to get that candle close above that prior monthly candle close range. If we do not, so if we fail and we reject from that $61,300 level, we close below it, we'll end up getting some price action that looks a little bit like this. So as you guys can see, we don't move below our bull run trigger point. So for our current cycle, that is $48,000. We don't move below it. So while we maintain we're above that level, we should at some point break above that candle close level. But we end up getting a pretty strong rejection. So I'm pretty sure this move was good, like 10% at least. 30%. 30%. Yeah, so huge. So that's obviously really important to look out for, guys. So naturally, on that weekly chart, if we lose that $60,000 range, so let's go back to the weekly chart. If we lose the $60,000 to $57,000 range, it increases our likelihood over the next month that we are going to get that red candle close. So obviously the weekly chart is really important to look out for first. We want to keep these levels, right? And then on that monthly chart, over the next 3 weeks, as long as we hold those levels and keep moving above, we should break $69,000 and get that green monthly candle close. So the opposite forecast, the negative one, would be obviously that red candle close. So as I said before, and as you can see on the BLX chart, we don't go below our bull run trigger points. We don't go below $48,000, even if we do get this rejection. That would be a completely different scenario, and I would have to make an entirely different video. So I don't see that happening, is obviously what I'm trying to say. We will not go below $48,000. However, the maximum drop that we get, if we do get that red candle, will be a macro continuation of 20% downwards. So that would be from where we are currently sitting. Oh, let's just drag it up to where we're currently sitting. So that would be 23%. So from where we currently are, if we do manage to get a red candle close for the month and we form that double top formation, we'll end up going to maximum 48%. So that would mean a 48,000, and that would mean a 23% correction for Bitcoin on the macro charts. Then at some point, we should find support on $48,000. I really don't see us losing that level, and then continue upwards from there. So it just means that if we get that red candle, our parabolic behavior has been delayed. So we'll end up getting a massive macro correction first before having to, I guess, redo all the last couple of weeks of price action that we've had. So we'll have to reconsolidate back upwards and figure all of that out again. On the flip side, obviously, that positive one would be much easier, much quicker, and we'll get that parabolic behavior really soon. But yeah, definitely really important to look out for that monthly candle close. So really critical position that we're in right now. Alright guys, that is everything from me today. So that's the short time frame price action, what to look out for on the short time frame, the weekly charts, and the monthly chart. If you guys enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down below. And if you want to see more of my content, I do have a free Telegram channel where you guys can sign up for daily Bitcoin updates as well as crypto and economic news. If you're a trader and you want 15% off your trading fees, sign up down below to BitGet and BingX. They are two of the world's top 10 exchanges. BitGet is available to everyone outside of the US and Singapore, and BingX is available non-KYC and worldwide. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!